Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome to my channel, The Healing Planet. My name is Melinda. Happy 2020. Thank you for being my loyal subscribers, our little tribe of 12 right now. But I am so grateful for your support, and I hope that I am providing you with some support and help on your ascension journey. So today's video is about the last decade of my life, of my journey of love, my ascension journey to this point, to New Earth 2020. It is just the beginning of the beginning. We are still purging. Last month was just an incredible succession of portals and gateways and activations. All the 333 portals, right? Starting with December 3rd, December 12th, which was the 1212 gateway. Then the 1221, which was the winter solstice. And then we even had the new moon solar eclipse right after Christmas, a few minutes after December 25th. And then we had the 30th of December, also a 333 gateway activation. And now we're getting ready for the full moon lunar eclipse in Cancer. So pretty intense times. Friends that I've been connecting with, other twin flame star seeds, are feeling it tremendously. But if you are along the journey at about the same point as I am, we have had a lot of experience in dealing with these activations, and now that we are fully conscious of what is happening is really helping in a great way. So we're all in this together, and victory is ours. Victory of ascension, of unity consciousness, unconditional love for ourselves, starting with self-love, and for each other, fellow human beings, the animal, plant kingdom, Mother Gaia, all of God's creations. We are one. And it does start with unity within, balancing our masculine and feminine, as above, so below, as within, so without. And I have received a lot of activations this past month, and I have committed, or newly recommitted, to my mission of healing and teaching and guiding those who are drawn to my channel. I am of service. I never thought it would be on a global level, such as on YouTube, being globally open, globally transparent, and accessible in a way so that you can reach out to me. We can connect through the internet, through this amazing technological advancements that it's only just the beginning. There's so much more exciting, amazing things to come. But we gotta have patience, and we gotta do the work. We gotta take it day by day. So I don't want to preach, but I do want to say, I have to say what I have to say, otherwise I cannot sleep very well. My thoughts, unspoken, unsaid things will wake me up and will perturb me, so to speak. And in a way, it's all good. It's a learning journey for me as well. I never thought I'd be on YouTube, like I said. So this is totally new for me. Although I have been a teacher for coming up to close to 25 years now, but you know, being on camera and talking about spirituality, I have not done ever, at least not in this lifetime. So it's just an amazing journey. And so let me share my story. I am a bit of a storyteller, and I did pull the storyteller card for in the 2020 reading. So that really resonated with me. So I feel guided that that's how I'm going to share what I need to share. I apologize about the camera. I know I'm not looking, I don't seem to be looking straight at you. I am looking straight at my iPad. I'm recording this on my iPad. I know it's not the best equipment, but it's the easiest for uploading. My non-Apple laptop just has created so many difficulties for me because I'm not very technologically advanced or experienced in this area. So I will probably upgrade fairly soon, improve the conditions of video recording for all of you. All right. So, what has this decade brought into our lives? I hope I will inspire you to reflect on that, or maybe you've already done some reflecting. You know, it's a natural part of, you know, when the new year is rung in. And this is not actually the natural new year. This is just following Gregorian, I think. I'm not sure. Calendar. I'm not very good with names. Sometimes I mix them up. But you know what I mean, the Western calendar. It's not a natural calendar. So we also have the Chinese New Year coming up later on this month. And then the astrological New Year, or the natural New Year really begins in March 21st with the spring. So we will have a succession of New Years, really, and in a way, every day could be a new year, right? It's what we make it. But globally, this is the calendar, the business calendar, what most of the world follows. So it's like turning the leaf, the page, new chapter has begun. And it's just natural to reflect on what has happened in the previous year, except this is a new decade. So it's also natural to reflect what has happened in the last 10 years. And when I asked myself this question, and I did this on December 30th, which was the last 333 portal, and it was really surprising, even for me. I was like, wow, my life has changed tremendously. So, but it hasn't been easy. For me, the last decade was full of tower moments, one after another, and I never knew when the next one was going to happen and where it was going to come from, to the point where I thought, this is never going to end. What has happened? I felt I had failed God. I was being punished. And I didn't know when I was going to be forgiven. And boy, there are so many things I didn't know. And this whole decade has been revelation after revelation after revelation, and wonderful, amazing revelations. And until, by 2018-19, I very well was aware that we are living in times of the revelations, right? Because biblical times, definitely ushering in the new earth, which is a new beginning, the new golden age. We are ushering in the new golden age, and we are being corrected by the hand of God, by the universe, source, whatever you believe in, whatever name you use to describe life force, energy, divine love, unconditional love. Because that is the only reality, true reality. We are just being led towards our victory in ascension. So that is my truth. That is where I'm at right now. So it is good news. I am a bringer of good news. Who would have thought? Thank you, God. I am so humbled and amazed. But it has not been an easy journey. So the reason I'm sharing it, because maybe you will resonate, and maybe you are just going through it right now, or maybe you will be going through it later on. Just, I want you to know that you are so loved and treasured by God, the Ascended Masters, the Archangels, whoever your guides are. I also have Native Elder guides. And we are all here to heal the planet, to usher in a new age of unity consciousness and unconditional love, like I said before. Forgive me if I repeat myself. I know I do. Okay, so I'm so grateful that I am finally free of a lot of fear that has kept me back from speaking my truth. When I started this channel, I so wanted to share all my truths, and I found myself really challenged by fears that would come out in the middle of the night, that would cause me to hyperventilate. And I just could not. Either I could not upload the video, or I could not bring myself to make another video for a long time, because it's that fear programming that is so ingrained in us. So we've been so conditioned. And the older soul that you are, and the longer you have lived on this planet, the more fear programming that you carry, chances are. And I am an old soul, very old, which was revealed to me earlier in 2019, which was a total game changer for me. And I'm so grateful for that. I had always believed in reincarnation, but I think it was more like a concept that I had accepted. but I didn't quite understand all the ramifications of it until 2019. And I am so grateful for it. It has allowed me to clear up a lot of gunk from past lives through Akashic record clearings and healings, which are now available through very special, gifted children of God on this earth. So I don't do that. Maybe I will in the future. I'd love to. I think it's just such an amazing service to be giving to humanity. So I'm just putting it out there. If you've never done it, maybe give it a try. When you're ready, it all has to happen in divine timing. So I'm still off topic. Okay, can I get to the point? All right. The past decade. So, started in 2010. In 2010, I was going through a divorce. My one and only. I don't think I could do more than one. And I never wanted to divorce. It was one of the toughest challenges of my life, spiritually, emotionally, physically, financially, every which way. And maybe it is for you as well, to the point where you can't even go through with it. I didn't think I would be able to go through with it, but I had to live. I cannot live in non-truth. How can I say it? I have always lived in my own truth. I've always reflected, checked in with my heart. I've always done everything following my heart, which is unconditional love. And to have stayed in that marriage would have been a lifelong prison sentence for me, and I would not have been able to live an authentic life. I could not have continued to be an authentic person. So I had no choice, even though it was so difficult that it nearly crippled me. More than that, it nearly, ended my journey on this planet. So I am so grateful that I persevered and I was guided all along. Even though I didn't know it at the time. But as I went along, it became more and more clear to me that God loved me. It was all for our highest good, even for my children. So, I started my divorce back in 2008, and it ended in 2013. But it really continued until January of 2016. So from 2008 till 2016. So about 8 years. Toughest 8 years of my life. How did I feel? So in 2010, I was at one of the lowest points in my life. I felt like a failure. I was a failure. I could see it in my birth family's eyes. And a large part of my family chose to close their door to me. And that was, my family meant everything to me. All my life, I had done everything for people. I wanted to be of service. I wanted to help people, love people. It's what brought me joy. And so not only was I going through a divorce, but I was also losing a large part of my family. The emotional pain I felt nearly crippled me. I had the support of only a couple of my family members, and I had a wonderful job, which really helped me keep going against all odds. I actually felt revitalized and replenished, rejuvenated through my work. And I'm so, so grateful for especially Mother Mary, who guided me when I was choosing my occupation to go into teaching. And that's another video that I will make in the future. The first amazing thing that happened is that I was clearly shown who my real friends and family were. And even though I could count them on one hand, truly, it was 5 people. But I was so grateful that I had 5 people who were real and true. And that was my big awakening, the first big awakening. So I was going through a divorce, and it challenged me greatly, like I said, on all levels. I was on antidepressants, and I started smoking and then drinking, not as an alcoholic, but as a way of suppressing feelings, I guess. I had to keep going, had to keep working, had to keep fighting for my children, from whom I got separated for about 2 years. So I saw them on a daily basis, but I was not living with them. And everything was very uncertain. I was going through the battle of my life. So although physically I was strong, I really worried about my emotional and mental fragility. My good friends kept me together, and so often they told me, "You're stronger than you know. You're stronger than you know." And I would look at them and say, "How can you say that?" I did not see it. I felt so small, so weak, so inefficient, and a total failure. But I believed that I had to. I was like, okay, whatever. If you say so. Now, going back in 2007, I had reawakened to the angels and their presence, their reality. As a child, I was always in contact with them. I had lots of experiences, which kind of frightened me because nobody could explain things to me. Nobody could relate. I was the only one having these experiences. I was told I was imagining things if I shared stories. So I just shut it down. I just didn't want it, And then in 2007, the angels, those are other videos I will probably share later on. really the angels led me to Doreen Virtue's teachings. And I was amazed that I was not the only one on this planet having these experiences. And not only that, I realized there were other people who were having and progressing way beyond where I was, because I had shut everything down for so many years. So in 2009, like I said, in 2008, I started separation, divorce proceedings, and then, we tried to get back, save the marriage, didn't work, then I left again. Nothing made sense to me logically. I could not process it. So much was going on in my life. That I had to release that, and my guidance was to just process everything through the heart and make all my decisions based on love. Basically, by asking myself, what would love do? Because I was confronted with situations that nobody could really counsel me on, and it was up to me. I had to decide. And it was really the first time in my life, because previous to that, I had chosen to just follow my family, the culture. I just wanted to fit in at all costs, fit in. I never wanted to stand out, but I always did. Recently I watched the movie The Ice Age, and if you've seen it, the two mammoths, remember when, I forget their names, but the male mammoth thinks that he's the only one in the world. There's no other mammoths out there, and that he'll never be able to have a family. He'll never be able to experience love. And then he runs into the female mammoth who thinks that she's, what's that little animal? Groundhog, not groundhog, but something similar to that. Because she was also separated from her family. And you know how the cuckoo lays its eggs in another bird's nest, and then another bird raises its young? Well, I had always felt that way. So same thing with this mammoth, she actually thought she was this little creature, groundhog type, but she was way bigger than that. And through her meeting with the male mammoth, she soon thereafter figured out who she really was. So that's my story as well. I just, it's taking me a long time to connect and reconnect with my soul family, which really only happened in 2019. I am so grateful, and it's the Divine 44. Love you guys. If you're listening to this video, so grateful, and it's just the beginning. And I'm sure there's so many more of us who will come together, not only over the internet, but in person as well. So, through this great awakening, right? That's spreading across the globe. So, getting back to my point, in 2009, I chose, not because I wanted to, but because I was led to, and I had no choice. It was my only chance for survival, mentally, emotionally, every which way, is to choose love and make all my decisions through the eyes of love, through my heart. What would love do? And that gave me that certainty, that deep inner knowing and trust that allowed me to sleep, to recharge, which is so essential for going forward in our lives, no matter what is happening, how great the upheavals around us are. We need to sleep. We are in a physical human body. So we need that inner peace, and it is through love. So that was in 2009. So this whole decade, I was led by love, which is so amazing. I'm so grateful. Another thing that became very much highlighted in my life at that time was stamina, balance between physical and spiritual. As I was struggling for mere survival, because this taxed me on every level, like I said. I was praying, I was meditating, sometimes at night, whenever I had time, and just kept going, through the heart, through love. And then a string of miracles unfolded in my life. I needed divine intervention. I asked for it, I prayed for it, and I was miraculously given it. I actually started thinking that God has forgiven me, that God really loved me, because I kept getting those messages over and over, especially through Doreen Virtue's teachings, for which I am eternally grateful. Because in church, unfortunately, or wherever I picked it up, I think it's in the mass consciousness or unconsciousness or whatever, that we think that God is angry or God punishes us, that we're always sinful and we can never be enough to deserve God's love, even though we know that that is not true. We don't have to prove our worth to God. God loves us unconditionally. And once he or she wants the best for us. And sometimes that's a lot more than what we want for ourselves. Because as I had said, I wanted to keep myself small, just have a very simple life, just have a simple family life, 1.5 children, picket fence, 2-car garage, whatever, all of that, okay? And I wanted to support my husband, significant other, that was part of the patriarchy, right? The devoted wife, mother, also of service to God, humanity. Well, it's exhausting when you're doing everything for everyone and you have never heard of self-love, and you think that is a selfish thing to do, and you put yourself last. Well, it's not good. It caused me to gain so much weight because I was just exhausted. I was on a treadmill 7 days a week. And I was using food during those early years when my children were small to comfort myself. And even my face had changed. I really did not recognize myself. Also, I was not aware that I was not in an equal, balanced, loving partnership. And energetically, I was being depleted. So, as now we know, I found out through Doreen Virtue's Losing Your Pounds of Pain that even just to protect ourselves energetically, we'll put on the pounds, okay? Just to put that kind of barrier between our, around ourselves as a form of protection. And of course, the only way, the only protection we need is energetic protection, setting up healthy boundaries and coming into our self-love, self-nurturing, and assertiveness. Being assertive, not aggressive and not a doormat. Somewhere in between. And it's a fine line. You cannot learn it overnight. It's a process. So these are also the things I've learned in this past decade. So as I was going through my divorce, a lot of synchronicities started happening, like I told you. A lot of good things started coming into my life. I met a wonderful man on Valentine's Day 2011, and it really felt like a soulmate, and it was definitely. And I was, at the time, I was not aware of the term twin flame, even though when I did become aware of twin flames in 2016, I then looked back in my journals. I have been writing journals throughout my life, like since I was a teenager, or definitely from my early 20s. But even as a teenager, I think, yeah. And that I have Oprah to thank for. And my beautiful, beautiful English teacher, who was also the librarian in our school. So grateful. I came across an entry where I talked about twin flame. And I put it out to the universe that I do want to meet my twin flame. I'm praying to God to please help me come into relationship, into physical relationship with my twin flame. And I think that was dated back in 1996. No, not even 96, earlier than that, 1991, something like that. So I don't remember though. I have no idea where I heard about it at that point. The only thing I can think of at that time, I was learning how to meditate with Self-Realization Fellowship. So with Paramahansa Yogananda, the beautiful Ascended Master. So I may have heard about the concept through his teachings, but it was not manifesting. I did not understand yet. It's not that easy, right? And I pretty much had given up on it because I thought, well, it's not happening. Who knows? Maybe not this lifetime. So, but I was aware of soulmates, and I still was not aware of karmics. I haven't heard of that. But soulmate, yes. And I think, yes, he was a soulmate. And we spent about, I guess, 4 or 5 years together. It was really beautiful, really grateful for it. I'm actually grateful for everyone in my life, who's, whether it was a teacher, karmic teacher, or someone who shared love, his or her love with me, because it's all brought me to this point. And that is the best way to be, as we are purging the past of millennia for some of us, depending on how old of a soul you are. So star seeds, some star seeds have not been on planet Earth very much, so they might not have a lot of karma. And if you follow YouTube, you see now some very young, beautiful young star seeds, twin flames, who are already in their full power, God-given gifts, and are sharing it with the world, right? And whereas some of us, like myself, it's been a longer journey because we've had a lot more karma to get rid of, to burn up, and we were more entrenched in programming and conditioning and so on and so forth. All right, so another thing that happened very soon after that, November 2011, my children were miraculously returned to me and started living with me full time. And they have been with me ever since. I'm so grateful. And I was not aware of it back then, but now I know. It happened after the 11/11/11 portal of that year. I was praying the rosary to Mother Mary, and yes, she interceded. It was a miracle. So then after that, August 2013, I received my divorce papers. I quit smoking, and I quit drinking. And then I was like, because of that, so yeah, that's my battles with weight gain, weight loss. I've done the yo-yo dieting, another one of Doreen Virtue's books. So all of this just really resonated with me and really helped me to awaken and to really see that it is truth, it is reality. And I think this was done so that I would not doubt anymore, that I would not be able to sweep anything under the rug anymore. I was not able to go back. I was not able to fit in, and I actually did not want to anymore. So after this, I thought, I found my partner, wonderful life, so on, so forth, only for it to end very suddenly through divine intervention, all the signs were there. So after that, that started a string of very, very difficult Christmases. Starting with, I think it was Christmas of 2014. That was still okay, but really Christmas of 2015 was just devastating for me. I thought, what is going on? I thought I was done with the karma. I thought God had forgiven me. Why is everything that I love, everything that I've ever wanted, why does it keep being taken away from me? So of course, that's the karmic cycle, that has to be broken, and that's what we're doing. Some of us have already completed it in 2019, and many of us, we will be completing it this year or in the coming decade, depending on where you are at in your journey. So I actually experienced heartbreak. I think my first real heartbreak of this lifetime, anyways, that I can remember. I actually thought I would die of a heart attack, it felt. And then Jesus saved me, and he came in as golden light, Christ light. And I will make a video on that as well. And stabilized my heart. Basically, the Christ light went through my heart chakra from front to back, and also from my heart out to my hands, through the palms of my hands. And I received the light cross, and also the intuitive knowing and the intuitive message that it was Christ, it was Jesus. He told me that I would never die of a heart attack. My heart, I don't need to be afraid of that. And it also signified to me, or told me, that Reiki was of the Christ light, that it was not the work of the devil, as some dogmatists might believe. And I'm not putting anybody down. I'm not trying to label or anything, but I'm just trying to explain, because I went through that in 2009. I became a Reiki healer, and I was part of a church congregation. And that church congregation, did not accept it. And I actually had to go through, a bit of a modern day witch hunt, Of course, me being an empath, I felt this. So it was not on the physical so much, but part of it did come out on the physical as well through the court proceedings. But it was not approved of, no, was not accepted. And I know that. So because of that, I have removed myself from organized religion, even though, I had spent many, many wonderful years there. I was Sunday school teacher. I learned Jesus' teachings, which I'm so, so grateful for, and resonated with me and resonates with me. And it is true living Christ consciousness. So that was amazing. I did not expect that. And yeah, I wasn't sure at that time how Jesus felt about me. And yeah, he loved me too. Totally. So then the last court proceedings were in January of 2016. I had to go to another city. I had to take a train. And on my way back on the train, I met a soul sister who introduced me to the Holy Grail book. I wasn't completely ready for it. I wrote it down. I remember she was reading it at the time. I looked at some of the pictures and stuff like that, and I was like, I don't know. I don't understand it, but it's something drew me to it, and she was so lovely, and we had so much in common. She was also a teacher. She was an art teacher, and had angel tingles and shivers all through the train ride, through our conversation on the train. So I knew it was something that I had to look into. And it just showed me that God loved me and had great things in store for me. And after that, in 2016, so 2016 was such a critical year for me. I got off prescription medication in the springtime. I connected with the medical medium, Anthony William, through Hay House Radio. And I started taking the natural supplements that he prescribes in his book. Oh, do I have it here? And I'm going to make videos on that as well in the future. Yes, here, medical medium. Oh my gosh. And he's got many more books since then. It is so good. I still take those supplements that he prescribed for depression. And yeah, I will make a separate video on that as well. But it's basically vitamin B supplements. I take GABA, a lot of spirulina, chlorella, barley green, basically, vegetarian, vegan lifestyle, not too much caffeine. Nature walks, sunsets, sunrises, and so on. Okay, so I'll make a video on that later. So then the signs, synchronicity started just amplifying. I started having visions of a beautiful partnership with my one true love. That was the message I was getting, my one true love. I knew he had to be out there. And, I would, up until that time, I always described myself as fool for love, or one who wears her heart on her sleeves. That's me. I didn't know it was a twin flame. But that's what made me believe that that was one of the criteria, right? Okay. When that came into my life, and yeah, I'll probably make a video on that as well. So after this envisioning, my twin flame walks into my life, who I thought was my twin flame. Now, I didn't know just from meeting him, although I knew just from hearing his voice and just the bodily reactions, that kind of electrical charge going through the body and so on and so forth. I don't want to go into too much detail about that here. But also, signs I was receiving in clouds that led me to YouTube readers. And that was the first time I had heard of twin flames. And then I started watching videos on twin flames, and yeah, it sounded like that's my twin flame. My God. It was the biggest revelation of my life. Inspired me to great change. I became vegan. I lost 40 pounds within 4 or 5 months. Joy came into my life. I started dancing. I remembered that I had a mission. I got reactivated to my mission, and then started my channel. But I still had fears. I had to clear a lot of disappointment in love. Of course, he ran in 2017 during the solar eclipse. And I had a hard time in letting him go. So it took me almost a year, or maybe even more, from 2017 to August 2017 to August 2018. It took me a whole year to let him go. I could not understand how that is to be done. But yeah, finally, I did a lot of learning on the twin flame journey. So I let him go emotionally in 2018. I realized either he's my catalyst twin, or if he's my true twin, he'll come back, but I have to let him go. As soon as I let him go, the week after, I met my real twin in 2018. So remember I was talking about Christmases, the horrible Christmases that started 2015. 2016 was pretty tough because I moved, and I moved during the biggest snowstorm, and I had to downsize. It was a big change with 2 teenagers, and I had no help. 2017, again, just me and the kids. Still purging the abandonment wounds, not finding true love, or finding but losing it, or never really having it, and things like that. And then brings up mother, father wounds, so on and so forth. Of course, I came into the awareness that we're purging, we're clearing bloodlines, we're clearing ancestral karma, sins, whatever you want to call it. And then, by 2018, I realized it wasn't just for myself and my twin. It was also for the collective. I became aware that I was a healer, land healer as well, transmuter. So Christmas 2018, the purge, the biggest purge of my life, the most painful, deep purge. I thought I was dying as well. I was on the ground, but made it through, because by then I knew I had the support of God. I had the support of Jesus. I was told I would not die, and then I realized purges do not kill you. They heal you. So that's another misconception. I was always told, oh, don't cry, blah, blah, blah. But if you don't cry it out, if you don't feel it, you cannot heal it. You have to feel it to heal it, to release it. And then the angels can take it away from you, and sometimes you have to reach out to healers. I also, through these years, I went through counseling for myself and my children as well. So I'm so grateful I did that, because I learned a lot. And my children learned a lot. So then, March 2019, I learned about past lives. I understood more about reincarnation, that things that happen in past lives, we don't just leave them there. We carry that forward when we reincarnate. There are cellular, energetic, emotional, etheric imprints on our, whether physical body, emotional body, mental body, etheric body, astral body. So that explained a lot to me, why I was so sad most of my life, why I was always pining for my true love, and I was always looking, searching, and never really finding. I never had that true recognition, because I didn't know what twin flames was, what reincarnation truly meant. So, and we are supposed to be victorious, and we are going to be, and we are victorious already. Love has won. It just has to manifest now in the physical. We are bringing down heaven to earth. So first, everything is in the higher realms, and then as we clear out karma and we live our highest timelines, we take action according to our positive thoughts and emotions. Then we manifest consciously, and we co-create with God by aligning with our higher selves, which is our I am presence. And that's the same thing as aligning our will with God's will. And that's how we manifest our highest timelines. And that's how we ascend and become conscious. And it's all through love, faith, compassion, and unity consciousness, right? For me, it was the teachings of Jesus. It doesn't have to be. There are other religions in the world that teach about unconditional love as well. But Christ consciousness is real. It pertains to all of us, no matter what religion you're of or from or what we follow. It is that golden light. Okay. So, after that, a deeper layer of healing began for me. Everything just kind of clicked about the twin flame journey. I understood I had to let him go emotionally, because the divine feminine leads the way. And the divine feminine is an energy, and it can be embodied in a female body or in a male body, right? Same with divine masculine is an energy that can be embodied in a male body or a female body. So it doesn't matter whether you're male or female. It's the energy that you embody. I am divine feminine. It is the divine feminine that is in touch with the higher realms, with has that spiritual connection, and that influences the twin, the divine masculine. And through that trinity, right, we get the union, the triunion, the three that is one. So that's another video as well. But and then the biggest surprise yet occurred for me in 2019 in early August, end of July, early August. I got galactivated. So I'm a starseed as well, of Andromedan origin. But I mean, it doesn't really matter. There's so many of us here who are starseeds. We're from many different galaxies and star systems and so on and so forth. And as you know, the Milky Way and the Andromedan galaxy are coming together. Now, it's not going to happen overnight, but it is happening. And that's basically the divine feminine, divine masculine uniting as well. So then right after that, everything, like this August, like right around the 8-8 gateway, the Lion's Gate, just one thing happened after another. I got reunited with my soul family, started my mission of healing and teaching, so it all rose to a new level. And I got more in touch with the Ascended Masters, first Saint Germain, and then Serapis Bey, and Mary Magdalene. I am a sister of the Rose. I am a sister spiritually of Mary Magdalene. I am in close contact with Mother Mary, Mother Gaia, Native Elder Guides. I think I've said this over and over again. I'm not going to say it anymore, maybe. So I am now ready for a mission. I am at another level, like I said, of my mission as an ascension guide, I feel, like I said, teacher, healer. We are coming into our freedom. The new age, the new golden age, the age of Aquarius is under the leadership of Saint Germain, who is the Chohan of the seventh ray, the violet flame of transmutation, and his twin flame, Lady Portia, who is has domain over justice, grace. So what does this freedom entail? No more codependency, which I had come to learn in this past decade. So basically, we have to come into our authentic self, be able to take care of our needs on our own, come into our purpose, which is service-based, service to others based, not service to self. Of course, it also supports you, but that is not the focus, right, of your service. The focus is not to make you money, but the focus is to help others, to serve others, serve Mother Gaia, serve the the plant kingdom, animal kingdom, all life, the environment, whatever it may be. It could be technical as well, as long as it serves humanity, animal, plant kingdom, environment, Mother Earth, all of that. Freedom means no more debt slavery. That's another thing I had to learn. So grateful. I am almost completely out of debt. Never ever want to be in debt. And I will make sure I am not. So if you need help with any of these, if you feel, called, or you feel you trust me, you resonate with my message, my experiences, I am here to serve, to support, to guide. And I will probably make another video about specifically what kind of services I will have available. But yeah, learning about codependency, coming out of debt, basically full balance in your life through the rainbow bridge of your 7 chakras, the root chakra, sacral, solar plexus, heart chakra, higher heart, throat, third eye, crown. There are other chakras as well, but as long as we understand what those 7 chakras mean, and we bring it into balance and clarity, basically clearing the chakras, we understand what they mean and then how they affect our lives, we can bring our lives into balance. And then you are free. You are on the ascension path. You will be able to progress that much faster and go that much higher, because sometimes you can get stuck without knowing that we're stuck. And it is through free will. We have to choose. First of all, we have to choose love through self-love and love of others, service to others. And we have to choose ascension. We have to want to ascend, because we live on a free will planet. We have to ask God's intervention. We have to ask the angels, archangels, ascended masters to help us. Otherwise, it cannot intervene unless it's a life and death circumstance. So, freedom, right? So no more codependency, no more debt slavery. It means a knowing within every cell of my body the true reality of unconditional love of God, of the ascended masters, the archangels, guardian angels, native elder guides, the ancestors. Could be animal guides. The love of Divine Mother, Mother Earth. So, yes, in 2019, I also found out what is the true meaning, or I was I was made to remember what the true purpose of life is, and it is ascension. And that is to ascend out of slavery and into everlasting love, peace, joy, and harmony. And it is real. It's not made up. So that is my service. That is how I understand it at this moment. I'm basically bearing witness to the reality of God, of the Ascended Masters, angels, archangels. Mother Earth is a living being, entity, and life is precious. It is a gift. And the victory, the real purpose of life is ascension. And we are ascending into 5D consciousness, which is unconditional love. Mother Earth is ascending, and we are all ascending with her, whether we like it or not, and we cannot stop it, even though we might want to try. So what can stop it? Basically, like in my case, I tried to make myself very small. I just basically said, no, I just want this little life, and that's it. I'm good. I love God, but, like I'm limiting myself. You can't do that because you don't know what your purpose is. And through the ascension, if you continually choose to ascend, and that is within your heart, it is the desire of your heart. You don't have to sometimes say it, but you feel it. Then you have to go with the flow, because God, the universe, are leading you, and maybe you have a very important soul contract to fulfill. So that's another thing I learned in the last decade, that when we incarnate, before we incarnate, we sign soul contracts, and we have to fulfill those soul contracts. So, and the onus is on us to realize what that contract is, so, and if you're a twin flame, then, it's not just you, it's also your twin, right? So sometimes when things don't make sense and you think you've done everything you can, well, do you have a twin? What has he or she done? Are you purging for him or her? Are you clearing karma or whatever? So right now, we're at a point where if you've done the work, we are reclaiming our God-given birthrights. So I'm at this point, I am reclaiming my God-given gifts, my truth. I have let go of a lot of fears. I'm able to speak my truth. So grateful. Right now I saw 1:18:18 on the clock. And I'm feeling good inside. The God flame is burning within me. It is steady. I will be able to sleep well tonight. And because I'm on the right path. I know I am. I feel it, know it. And that is the most important thing in life. And it is gained through utter surrender to God, to the divine will, to our higher self, to the I am presence. All right. So I just want to thank so many wonderful souls who have helped me along my journey, and especially during this past decade. Of course, my mother, my sister, my good friends, And a lot of the healers that I've reached out to, which is really interesting, they're all either called Elizabeth, Beth, Betty, and that's my mother's name as well. So I think you're all helping me heal my mother wounds from this lifetime or through all time, space, dimensions, and realities. So thank you, thank you, thank you. You're wonderful. So grateful for you. I also am grateful to the karmic, narcissistic, manipulating souls that have taught me harsh lessons, because I guess I would not have learned them any other way. Through them, I learned to honor my boundaries. I found out what boundaries were. I learned how to become assertive. What else did I learn? I wanted to say that I started thinking more positively, but I think that was through Doreen Virtue, that who taught me, in the Hay House community. Through the law of attraction, right? Positive thoughts bring positive results, create positive feelings. So that's also the vortex, the Abraham Hicks. Yeah, so many wonderful teachers. Of course, the angels, ascended masters, my higher self, my I am presence, and God for having made me in such a perfect way that assures my victory. Because I am now aware that I am on an ascensionary journey, and I choose ascension at every turn. And right now we're going through these portals, and these portals are very auspicious times for setting intentions going forward. You know, just saying, yes, I choose to ascend. I am aware. I still need to heal this. I need to let go of this. I need to surrender that. I'm willing to do that. I'm willing to let go of my ego, which is my false mask, right? So there is such a thing as healthy ego, and that's fine as long as it basically gives you enough oomph, you know, to protect yourself, to stand up for yourself, to have healthy boundaries, and so on. But if you're in negative ego, basically you think you're better than everyone else, or if you're, you know, you think, oh, you're nobody, you're just, you know, the opposite end. Both of those are not going to help you. They're not going to serve you, because you are a child of God. And you have to realize that. That's why we're here. And everything, everyone, the whole universe is conspiring to help you. So we have to let go of those false beliefs that we're being punished or we're being blah, 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 blah. Yes, there's such a thing as karma, and we do have to pay for it. But that's it. That's a lesson. Those are the lessons. They're just there for us to learn and then move on. Forget the past. Leave it behind. Purge it out and release it. Ask for help. Ask for divine intervention. God, angels, ascended masters, whatever. Use prayer. Use invocation. Use decrees. So all these things I offer you on this channel. I do have an ebook of prayers and mantras and decrees and protections and all of that. Everything I've learned so far is there. And if you need to reach out to me, my email address is greenrayhealing2@gmail.com. I will put it in the description box below as well. So remember, we are all equally loved by God. We are all his or her children. And no one is to be left behind. You just have to choose it. Ascension through love, unconditional love, and through free will. Okay. So I am ready to serve you, all of you who are drawn to me, drawn to my channel. Welcome. Like I said, I am still releasing fears of past millennia through purging and through spiritual tools that I will share with you. Okay. But I just want to say it again. We are all doing this together now. For so many years, I was on my own. Maybe you were as well. Especially if you're of the older generation. But, you know, we're redefining what older is. You know, our cellular structures are changing as we move into 5D consciousness. Our cells are becoming, our DNA is becoming crystalline. So I am an old soul, but of a pure heart, pure divine essence, and I claim my victory in spirit, and you can do the same. It's your birthright. It's your God-given birthright as a child of God. You just have to claim it. Okay? That's the first step. And then you have to do the work. And you have to surrender. Forgiveness, self-love, compassion, gratitude, acceptance, and surrender are keys. So, I know how hard this journey can be, and it's not easy, but it's doable. We are being guided every day, every step of the way, and knowing this makes all the difference. So thank you for having listened to me. I hope it helped you in some way. And I wish you a very happy, joyful, miraculous, blessed, healthy, happy 2020. All right. Love you all. Namaste.